Lookout 79, Yankee Bridge.
2025, 79, do silver ground, thanks, Kilo.
2377 on the Kilo going somewhere around 597.
77, do silver ground, thanks, via Lima, Kilo 5, and hold short of Kilo.
All right, welcome, folks. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. It's going to be your SITREP. It is Monday, 11 a.m. Central Time, coming to you from the great state of Texas. It is January 9th, 2023. And so without further ado, let's hop on over here to our mini board here. Going to be looking at Skyglass as always. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, bell for notifications so you get the latest and greatest as things pop off. And so on Skyglass right now, we're sitting around 309 on screen, and total last load was 474. So that's globally. Excuse me. And again, these are going to be all military aircraft up. So looking at the numbers, just kind of compose it a little bit. I guess that's the right word. Tex 2 is about 48. BE-40s, 30 of those. H-60s, 28 of those up. And T-38's 23. So it's a pretty heavy driver of training aircraft up. It is absolutely beautiful here in Texas, unlike California right now. So that is going to drive that number exponentially. Let's just take a gander at the H-60s up right now. You can see quite a few up the eastern seaboard. A little bit going on here up north. And a little bit of stuff going on down here in the Panhandle. That is probably all trainee or trainer activity. So, and then we'll look at the tankers, and you can see it's a little heavier than it was earlier. We've got some activity going on here on the, I guess, the Seattle-Tacoma area. Stuff happening off of Texas, which is a slight uptick. Just a little FYI, just a data point for you. KC-135 flight hour, cost per flight hour, $18,621. So for every hour these bad dudes are up, you are talking a chunk of change. And we'll kind of break that down as we look at other aircraft too. But it's just a data point for you. I thought it was an interesting how expensive these are. And that's a drop in the bucket compared to F-35s and F-22s. When it comes to the fighter aircraft, it is crazy expensive. Same thing with the bombers. So, all right, let's go. Let's start out here. We'll take a look at our watch list. Now, we do have some interesting stuff going on, and we'll look at a little closer to the R-135s. But we've got priority air transport off the West Coast. Got an Energy Bird. That's a 737-400 up, headed eastbound. A handful of the Texas DPS and aircraft there around Del Rio. A couple E-6s up there in the center of the United States. And looks like one a little north of that up near Lincoln, Nebraska. And then we've got a C-135 just getting airborne. Then a little Dash 6. That one is actually a Canadian bird. I think that one is a spy bird. Just looking at the nose cone on it, it's kind of a funky looking aircraft. So a little more Homeland Security there over Chicago. A couple Venus, got Venus flight and a Whitetail. Those are just training flights. And then LaSalle Aviation, that's going to be one of your spy birds, civilian spy birds. P-8 headed southbound. Another P-8 getting airborne out of Jacksonville. And then this R-135, check this one out, Nippy 45. That one is doing a little hang time just north of South America there. North, kind of over Caracas and that general area. So interesting. If you want to look at the cost per flight hour of that bad dude, let's get over here to Europe, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But I've got a little, it's a P-8 Subhunter off of northern England. An E-3 NATO coming out of Turkey. Looks like it's headed up over Constanta. And then, that R-135, we're going to get back to that here in just a second. As we look at these specifically here in a minute, it's not cheap either. It's a lot like the 135s. That's going to be an Antonov, very large transport, Russian transport. Looks like that's over Russia, headed eastbound. So, all right, let's get into the heavies. As you can see, kind of a light day. We got some stuff happening spread out across the U.S. A couple things on the West Coast. A little bit of stuff going on down in Florida. And disregard the spikes up there over the Northeast. That's just a bad day to feed. But you can see just getting started over kind of the Northeast DC area. Then we get over to Europe. And again, it's more spread out. It's a little more fanned out than what we've typically seen in the past. It seemed to be a little more of a long haul. Most of these are A400s, which are going to be those 4-engine turboprop aircraft. They look, they're kind of like a hybrid C-130 and an old C-141. As you can see, we got something rolling out of Malta headed over Africa. And that's going to be the heavies. Now we get into the refueler side of the house. Again, you're talking 18,621 per flight hour. We got a couple air refuelers up over Italy. One that looked like it came out of or in and out of Kuwait. And that's going to be an Italian bird. And then we've got one over kind of that Constanta area again. They're to the left of the Black Sea. That's that Italy air refueler. And then we've got one over England. Looks like it's doing some tracks there as well. Servicing probably either F-35s or the Eurofighter. So, all right, over to the U.S. Like I said, we just looked at those a minute ago. We've got a few more up. This is how it looked about an hour ago. You can see some leg work there over the Panhandle. It's going to be a lot of trainer support like F-35, that kind of stuff. Because actually they do a lot of F-35 training out of Pensacola. So a little bit of work up there in the Northeast. And then you can see the stuff that's starting to head out towards Texas. All right. And we get over the R-135s. Now, this is kind of interesting. This took place over the weekend. We got one coming inbound. Looks like that into the Crete area. And you can see where it did a little, I guess, a fuel stop there. And then we got this one. That's the one we just looked at. This one here, I don't know what that is. That little arc. Maybe that's some calibration flight. Again, coming over that Texas area, Longview in general. Kind of interesting. And then this one that looks like it went up to Alaska, fuel stop, and then on over to Japan. And we're going to take a look at that one here in just a second as we get in a little closer. Don't see these. Actually, as of recent, we've been seeing them more and more in Japan. We weren't seeing them at all. But it looks like we've got a lot of activity going on. Now, notice they're fanning out right along that Chinese border. Brazen, man. Getting a good look at all the stuff going on there. So we have definitely got some areas of concern over that general region. Again, remember, $18,830 per flight hour for this bad mamma jammer. So not cheap by any means. Okay. Okay. Now let's do this. We talked to R-135. Let's look at the civilian aspect, civilian intel. A little light. This is what happened in the last 24 hours. You could see running kind of, that's Belarus. We'll talk a little bit more about that here shortly. Then running up over Latvia, Lithuania, and then back down. There's a little bit of stuff going on. I'm not sure what's happening there in Bulgaria, but they, for some reason, are really concerned about the stuff. Now, that's Bucharest right there. We've got troops there in Sofia. You see at the bottom of your screen. They've been watching that closely lately. We've got a movement here on by one of the civilian LaSalle aircraft into the middle of the U.S. and a lot of legwork again over Virginia. They've been doing quite a bit of that lately. Kind of D.C. Metro, Virginia, etc. So we'll continue to watch it as always. All right. Now let's get into the crux of all of this. Now this is one we were just looking at, this R-135 out here. And you can see he is continuing to to run some routes back and forth there. We'll zoom in just a little so you can see it better. But that's going to be, he's at 29,500 feet, just kind of hanging out above Caracas here, back and forth. We do see that from time to time, but that usually is a pretty good indicator we got some stuff going on down here in Venezuela that they want eyes on, okay? All right, let's get over here to Flashbang. Let's see what he is up to today. Looks like they depart. They're down in Mexico City. All right. And yeah, should concern us all. Anytime you see folks that are part of the WEF, like this guy, graduate, coming down from Canada. Yeah. All right. Nonetheless, we will move on. So here's one for you. This is Abbott actually hand delivers a letter to Biden during his drive-by photo op visit to the border. Here's what it says. Basically just breaks down, hey, listen, dude, you've been in office. You're almost 80 years old. This is the first time you've been to the southern border your entire 2 years as president. And, oh, by the way, as well as your entire time representing this country. So, yeah, basically just calls him out on everything that he hasn't done. And good on Abbott. Long overdue. But I wouldn't have shown up, I'll be honest with you, if I was Abbott. I wouldn't give the guy the sweat off my backside, honestly. All right, let's take a look at the immigration flights today. We've got some stuff going from Ontario, California out to Greensboro. And don't know if that is immigrant related or hockey team related. I don't really know. But we do have some other stuff out of Southern California we need to pay attention to. Excuse me. Now, the big question is it because of the rain coming in, the flooding, and the homelessness and the migrants? We moving some folks. We're going to look closer at Biggs here in a minute. Some interesting flight traffic coming in and out of Biggs Army Airfield from California right now, okay? Mainly California. Then you notice a couple more here. You've got this one down border to border as they get processed out. Few here. Looks like this one. This one's interesting because it looks, Guantanamo Bay is a little further down, but rolling in and out of Cuba, out of Miami, back and forth. Looks like we got two of them doing a little round robin there. So, okay. And speaking of that, Ron DeSantis activates the National Guard amid a surge of illegal aliens entering Florida Keys. Yeah, we've been watching that. We've been seeing actually that flurry of activity by Homeland Security down south over the Keys. And looks like for some reason they all want to get there. So the numbers, as we talk about this stuff, sorry, my throat is just driving me crazy today. And I apologize for that, but this is what happens when you get the crud. So, but these numbers are just, they're almost laughable. I mean, 300, 500, 8,000. This is just nothing compared to what's been coming across the southern border of Texas. I mean, this line, it's just not. I've seen taco stands had more people in it. All right. Okay, let's get over here to this aspect. This is going to be the NOTAMs. You can see we've got some activity going on out here. This looks to be some type of, what is that? Military exercise, I guess. This is also danger area. Not too much over the United States, compared to what we've seen in the past. Mexico seems to have quite a bit of stuff going on down there. Mexico City, that's where Flashbang is right now. Your normal TFR over the Senior Living Center. And then we've got some space op stuff here. Okay. Now let's break away, go over to this side of the house. Missile. This is going to be a missile right here. So I don't know who that's about to launch. Probably, if I had to guess, North Korea. But it's out over the Yellow Sea and headed down to the East China Sea. And a lot of activity around South Korea right now and around Japan. Very active. Very, very active. These are all mostly MIL-OPS stuff. Okay. Danger areas. Okay. Now, actually, let me get back to this. Let's go over to Europe because I totally flaked on that. And we definitely want to see what's going on over in Europe, too. Again, this is a missile box. All right. We get up here, nothing really going on. This is Russia. And we get down near Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania. This is where we saw some of that civilian intel running in this general area. Now, pay attention because Belarus they're actually spooling up right now. It looks like Russia is putting a bunch more troops into Belarus, which would be a big indicator that they're getting ready to come in from the north. Also, I don't know if you saw my Monkey Minute yesterday, but for the members that are getting the Monkey Minutes, we talked a little bit about the new draft that Russia is doing. They're getting ready to activate another 500,000 soldiers. And that is through the draft process. So they are definitely not ramping down. If anything, they're spooling up. If you take the first 500,000, you take this next 500,000 plus whatever residual we already had there in the fight, then you're talking roughly, you're over 1 million Russian soldiers in the region when NATO is sitting at 100,000. So definitely very lopsided. Okay. All right. You can see very active. Switzerland's got some stuff going on, and Italy's got some things going on here. Notice all the activity between Turkey and Greece. A little bit of a hot spot between the two of those. Okay. All right. Now, this is out by the drive. This is actually meet all the heavily armored Western combat vehicles Ukraine is getting. I'm not going to go into all the details. I'll just say it's a lot, and every country is basically ponying up stuff. Now, the question is, why are they doing it? Is there about to be a massive ground campaign going on? That's why you would have these. Or is it because NATO's about to get engaged? We want to have other vehicles on the ground besides NATO stuff, because when they start popping stuff off, you don't want it to be just, a fish out of water, just easy targets, right? So you want to populate the area with other targets for them, right? I don't know. Just throwing that out there. But nonetheless, they are getting peppered with a boatload of stuff yet again. And then here's one for you. L3 Harris supply Ukraine with a Vampire anti-drone system with a $40 million deal. And let's see if I can get a picture of this. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's on, looks like to be a little Toyota. And, interesting. So if you look at it closely, this looks like it fires some rockets out. So these are knockdowns. And then this is what your guidance system basically tracking. So pretty cool. Don't see too many Toyota Tacomas, loaded like that. But other than probably the Google vehicle that drives around, right? Of course, it doesn't have the launch system. So, okay, let's see here. Sea Sparrow, RIM 7, surface-to-air missiles. So we got more SAMs headed to the area as well. Just add that to the rest of the quiver. So that is just one more. Again, Bohica moments, man. We are paying through this, through our taxes, and we're sending money over there, just printing it off as fast as we can to get it to them and our equipment. So when it comes time to fight, if China breaks out, we're going to be probably trying to reach in and get some stuff back, I would imagine, because we're giving it all away. It's kind of stupid. All right. Again, defense post. Russia sends more military equipment to Belarus, adding for a new invasion concern. Again, we were just talking about this, and we've got some pretty good looks at Belarus with our spy or reconnaissance aircraft. And so as this stuff starts to build up, they're activating another 500,000. I see more escalation probability than I see de-escalation, right? As always. So, okay. Let's get into this aspect because this is kind of an interesting deal. This, I'm not sure what to make of it. Either we are moving a boatload of immigrants out of California into Biggs Army Airfield for temporary housing, or we've got another push of some kind of activity going on here. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because notice where they're all coming out of. Keep in mind, if we get over here and look at the weather, which we'll do here in just a second, this one's coming out of North Carolina. It's a 737-800. It's one of the small aircraft compared to some of the others. The Airbus is also kind of small. Notice Sacramento, okay, Long Beach. This one's San Juan, Puerto Rico. Don't know the fit yet. Long Beach, Sacramento, Long Beach. See the trend here? This is all coming in, arrivals from California. And then from there, where does it go? Well, we've got this one that came in from Long Beach, actually headed to Baltimore, Washington. So that's probably headed across the drink. Could be troops. El Paso, okay, that one's probably, I don't know. That's where's it coming from? Coming from San Juan, Puerto Rico into El Paso. Headed to El Paso. So is this because we've got a big surge there? Is it because you just had Biden come in and now we want to put some boots on the ground in El Paso? I don't know. This one's headed to Phoenix, right? We know, and then we've got these two headed to Dallas, Fort Worth. These are small. This one's a small one, right? And when I say small, relatively speaking, you're talking 220 seats versus like a wide body, which is going to have, upwards of closer to 300, maybe more. Okay. So, and then this one here headed to Vegas. So I'm not really sure what to make of it yet. All of this coming in from California. Could it be, again, look at these two coming from Green Bay. These are Spa. And then from there, they head to Tucson. Now, that's home operations for them. So what were they doing in Green Bay? I don't know. And then this one here, actually scheduled departure up to Minneapolis, all right? Sun Country. Small bird. So are we seeing yet another push of those smaller aircraft that we saw earlier this year? I don't know. Are they rotating them? Did they put those folks out in the field and then they're bringing them back and doing a rotation? Immigrant related? I don't know. Given the fact that we've got this going on in California, as you can see, pretty big, heavy dose from from San Fran down south towards San Diego. You can see this is power outages, etc. This is wind advisory, but they're getting a lot of flooding there. So these are the main locations, and then Sacramento up here where these are coming into Biggs Army Airfield. So, like I said, let's keep an eye on it. I don't really know what to make of it yet. I'll be honest with you. Just don't know. It's puzzling, and I don't know. All right, let's just move on now. Let's get over here this is going to be Topeka, Kansas. So this, usually we see some uptick in troop-related moves as well out of here. We've got some spars, which are going to be kind of dignitary birds coming inbound to here. One from Scott, one from Wright-Patterson. And then both of them are headed to Nellis, all right? And these are spars. So it can be kind of your dignitary stuff. And these look to be commercial birds, all right? All right, out to Guam. Let's see if we got anything going on here. We do have an Atlas Air coming in from Hawaii. We've got a Navy logistics bird. Got a Reach bird coming in from near Saipan. And don't see anything filling out just yet, except for this one is on the docket for departure headed to Tokyo, Yokota Air Base. And that's going to be that Atlas Air that came in from Hawaii. So that's just moving equipment more than likely. And then Ramstein. We've got another Atlas Air coming in from Baltimore, Washington. Belgium Air Force inbound. And then let's see what we got over here. Another Reach. German Air Force. So kind of light for Ramstein. And then over here to Poland, again, I'm not seeing anything. I continue to look at the board to see. I see a Reach. That's the only thing I see departing. And that's headed to Spangladem. That's in Germany, I believe. That's where we saw the air refueler come out of. So we've got, look like some base activity going on here from U.S. troop perspective. That's where the refueler came out of when we saw the pipeline get taken out. All right. And then inbound. Again, not seeing much. Just that Reach coming in. That's it. See if I got any camber flights, anything else. Nope. All right, let's leave Poland. And then let's talk, this is camber. These are going to be troop movers. We got one coming out of Sofia, which this is down right here. We just looked at that. I was mentioning the fact that we've got troops there, pretty big buildup of troops there, U.S. troops, as well as Brits. And then we've got this one here, Colorado Springs. That's a 47400. So that's probably going to be either a Coletta or an Atlas Air. And then we've got this wide body as well. These are all 3 wide bodies, by the way, rolling out of Baltimore, Washington. And I don't have a destination, so. All right. So looks like we do have a little bit of uptick from a troop movement perspective. Again, the big thing is I don't know what to make of it yet. So could be related to all of this weather moving in, maybe. If it's immigrants and they've got people here, and it's flooding, maybe they're trying to move them out. They get them to high ground, so to speak, out here to Texas, and then maybe we'll see them bring them back. Or it's something completely different. Don't know. All right, Omni. We only got one Omni up coming out of Cherry Point, going all the way to March Air Force Base. So that is, looks like it's, now of course March is a Air Reserve base, but Cherry Point, that's usually Marines. And March used to be Air Force, but it looks like it's a joint base. So bringing some folks in, is that we bringing in maybe some guard units in case, the flooding gets out of control, or I don't know. So moving migrants out, bringing troops in, maybe. Okay. And then this is going to be your Brits. Only got 3 up right now. All of them coming out of the UK, headed down into, looks like this one's coming out of Cyprus, headed into the Middle East. And then, of course, we've got this one. Looks like it is 35,000 feet, headed over some weather, headed kind of south, eastbound. And this one here also, that's probably headed into Poland if I had to guess. But all right, anything for the Ruskies? Nothing. They we haven't seen anything from them in about a week, so maybe it's just a slow week for them. So we'll continue to watch. But all right, listen, that's going to be our sit rep for today. Like I said, we've got some strange stuff going on domestically. Not sure what to make of it yet. We'll continue to watch it and see if we can figure out what's going on here. It looks very similar to what we saw before at the beginning of the year with that surge. But given the weather, different dynamics, we could be seeing maybe some replen. Maybe you're pulling immigrants out and you're putting some troops in for National Guard kind of stuff. But Texas has their own National Guard, sorry, not Texas, but California. So I don't know why they wouldn't be using their own. And who knows? It could be military troops too, though. So it wouldn't be National Guard. It would be U.S. military coming inbound to the state. So wait and see. All right, listen, that's going to be it. You guys keep that powder dry and stay frosty. We'll keep you updated as things change. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear and products at monkeyworksus.com.